Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Shifts and Pucks News Pack for Wednesday, July 6th. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network, as we are just over 24 hours away from the NHL draft, headed in Montreal, Quebec. Beautiful Montreal, Quebec, Canada. At the Bell Center, the first in-person draft in 3 years. Of course, since 2019. The who's who of the NHL all gathering together is going to be quite a time. And so we're looking forward to that, getting ourselves ready. We'll get into that news very shortly, but we do need to start with some sad news. And this comes from San Jose, as Kevin Weeks was the one to tweet this out first, I believe. But we'll just note this. Some sad news to report. Unfortunately, longtime NHL defenseman and current San Jose Shark scout Bryan Marchment has passed away in Montreal. Deepest condolences to his family, friends, and teammates. Condolences have been pouring in since that time. Marchment has passed away. The NHL, of course, just releasing a statement here included in this, and as well as the National Hockey League mourns the passing of San Jose Sharks and former NHL player Bryan Marchment. Deepest condolences go to his family, the Sharks organization, and Bryan's many friends, former teammates, and fans. And Marchment actually did play with the Flames in 2005 and 2006 for 37 games. He, of course, in terms of he went 16th overall to the Winnipeg Jets in the 1987 entry draft. He played three separate stints there with the Jets. He also played with the Chicago Blackhawks, Hartford Whalers, Edmonton Oilers. He played actually 4 seasons with the Oilers, Tampa Bay, and then he played 6 seasons with the San Jose Sharks. 14 games with the Colorado Avalanche, 75 games with the Toronto Maple Leafs. In 926 games, 40 goals, 14 assists, or 142 assists, and 182 points overall. Very sad day. His son, Mason, of course, is a Florida Panther, is an unrestricted free agent as well, and was actually drafted 16th overall himself, like his father. Tough day so deepest condolences, and a tough day starting with Bryan Marchment, his career or his passing today in Montreal. No word on the reason of passing, just the sadness of that passing today. In terms of some other news going on here, the New Jersey Devils made some news today, and we'll start there as as they announce Kate Madigan will be a new assistant GM. She becomes the first AGM in our franchise and 6th in NHL history. So congratulations to her for that, as it's been a good week for female hires in the National Hockey League. That's very excited. Of course, John Fitzgerald says Kate has been an incredibly valuable resource to not only me but to our entire hockey operations leadership staff, particularly over the past 3 years as part of key hockey decisions. This promotion is reflective of the duties and responsibilities that Kate has assumed within our organization during that time. Her diligence, work ethic, attention to detail, ability to communicate with all staff, strategy, and vision are qualities that I look for in leadership. We have a fantastic management team in place, and the team in place that is working together, solely focused on the development and the success of this young, evolving group. And of course, Madigan will serve as part of the group with Fitzgerald. She was promoted as executive director of hockey management operations, which she was Since the fall of 2020, she previously served as assistant player information and video from 2017-19, director of pro scouting for 2 seasons, 2019-20, 2020-21. She also oversaw the scheduling reports of pro scouting staff while working with the coaches, management of video throughout the year. She orchestrated the logistics regarding the 2020 and 21 NHL draft and the Devils Draft Command Center. There, she holds a master's in accounting and bachelor's in business administration from Northeastern University. Lent her time to events of Women's Sports Foundation and Women in Sports events. She recently completed a TED Talk in Boston on working in Devils front office titled "In the Sports Management Suite, the President is Female." So congratulations to Kate Madigan on that. Now, let's go to the Capitals, which will connect us to the Vancouver Canucks. And this is regards to Nicholas Backstrom. GM Brian McCullough updated everyone on that. Brian McCullough says that we're not going to go out and sign a $9 million player. We are anticipating Nick comes back at some point. Until that goes away, we are planning on him coming back. Of course, Backstrom is expected to miss a good chunk of next season because of a back injury. He's been out for so the questions have been, does Nazem Kadri go to the Canucks or the Capitals, or do the Capitals make a trade for J.T.Miller? Now, Frank Saravelli retweeted today that it looks like the Miller camp and the Canucks camp met today, and it looks like that they are looking pretty far apart at this point in time. Frank Saravelli's tweet, hearing Canucks met with J.T.Miller's camp in Montreal on Tuesday, the two sides remain far apart on parameters of a potential contract situation. He bumped Miller up to the number 2 newest daily faceoff trade target. And of course, Vladimir Tarasenko and Torrey Krug have been added because Tarasenko, we'll get to him in a moment here, but we did put out a poll on Shifts and Pucks. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter there at Shifts and Pucks, as mentioned. And right now, where does J.T.Miller end up? 56% say the New York Rangers. So we'll see about that. So, but I put in Washington, New Jersey, or other. Washington's at 4.7%. Jersey, which there was some speculation from Frank Saravelli that they may be in either offering A, Jesper Bratt, or B, the number 2 pick, 18.7%, other 20.1%. So could see what happened here. Rick Dollywall tweeted out as well that in regards to that situation that he doesn't anticipate that there will be a resolution on extension parameters this week. So this might be the time that I think a lot of people were speculating this could happen. This is the opportunity that Patrick Allvin and Jim Rutherford have to put their own stamp on this team. So we will see. This is a very interesting situation, of course, and we'll keep you up to date on that. A quiet situation going on in Calgary. Of course, let's update you. Of course, the big focus and the big question has been around Johnny Gaudreau. But let's not forget Matthew Tkachuk. Of course, Tkachuk, a restricted free agent. And of course, a lot of the question going on here about Tkachuk has to do with Gaudreau and vice versa. Many feel that those two are connected. This is what Pierre LeBrun wrote in The Athletic. Teams are delicately approaching the Flames and Matthew Tkachuk, whose camp led by Newport Smart. I think is sitting back waiting to see how Johnny Gaudreau's UFA situation plays out before formalizing a game plan for their RFA client. Makes sense. You would want to see how the dust clears and how much of a contender the Flames remain before making any commitments. In the meantime, other clubs are calling to field the Flames out on Tkachuk. It goes without saying that the Flames' low intention right now is to sign Tkachuk long-term and keep him in the fold. But if he prefers to do a one-year deal and bring himself to UFA in a year, it puts Calgary in a brutal spot. So that's the other situation, of course. There are the two big questions, of course, in the Calgary's offseason. We've been constantly talking about Johnny Gaudreau. Let's not forget about Matthew Tkachuk as well. What is going to happen in those two situations? Let's keep an eye on that as we go on here. We'll be focusing this weekend. We'll be doing a draft free agency recap with the Vancouver Canucks scheduled for Sunday, and then Monday we'll be focusing on the Flames. So we'll be doing got some podcasts coming up there as well to focus on that. Couple of other things. Vladimir Tarasenko, according to Frank Zaravelli, has not rescinded his trade request. Therefore, that's why he has been put on the daily face-off trade list, as he's been updated, as they updated that. We'll go there. Of course, as mentioned, J.T.Miller talking about as a number 2 target. Torrey Krug and Vladimir Tarasenko are on that list. Of course, Tarasenko not rescinding his trade request. Alex DeBrincat continues to be the number 1 trade target. Number 5 right now, Vladimir Tarasenko. He's got one more season at 7.5 AV, 34 goals, 48 assists, 82 points. We'll see about that. And then Torrey Krug, he is right now sitting at number 13, 9 goals, 34 assists, 43 points. He's got 5 more seasons at 6.5. Of course, he was brought in by the Blues 2 seasons ago on a $45 million deal. He has got a full no trade movement and can block anything. So he's not been approached, according to Saravelli. Of course, but Armstrong got a lot of things to think about. Tarasenko, trying to create some cap flexibility. Jordan Kyrou will need a deal. Robert Thomas needs a deal. So they've got some things to think about in St. Louis for sure. So that will be interesting to watch there. Many of you have been following the Maxim Fedotov story involving his situation. We talked about that on Sunday's podcast, how he has been, of course, he's a goalie prospect with the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's been shipped out to the Arctic, according to some reports. And there's big question about the Russians and what's their status is coming into next season here and what's going on. And there's a lot of concern, and this particularly hit when Michael Russo tweeted out today regarding reports that Kiril Kaprizov is wanted in Russia for alleged buying a military ID in 2017 and has returned to the United States. A Minnesota Wild source says that he is not in the U.S. Obviously, this is a complicated story, and I'm working to see if there's merit. There was later on a tweet that came out from Evgeny Kolochev, and he had a reprieve. Kiril Kaprizov will serve in the airborne forces if he's sent to the Russian army. He had a reprieve until June 30th. So another situation to watch there. Kaprizov was on a lot of people's Hart Trophy ballot last year, and so there's a lot of questions about, of course, a star in this league, maybe a superstar, depending on your perspective. We'll leave that for you. 25 years old, and last season during the regular season, he had 47 goals and 108 points in his second season in the National Hockey League. 51 points in 55 games during the short 2020-2021 season. So that situation is also something to monitor as well. So that is the news for today. Of course, you can follow us all individually on Twitter. Sean Beardy, Canuck03, Tyler TNOBLE, Schneidz, Chris Schneidz, SCHNEIDZ, Devin Gordhouse09. I am KVULE, Shifts and Pucks on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll talk to you all very soon. And again, rest in peace. Bryan Marchment. Bye for now.